What's up, YouTube? Hope you're all doing well. We got a pretty sweet video for you today. A league we ran on stream, but we're trying out a bunch of different configurations in this Quantum Riddler Blue Black X shell. And right now we're wanting to see if Counterspell's got some legs. We know we've tried out with 4 Force, 4 Subtlety, but what happens if we add 4 Counterspell in the mix? So we trimmed away a few of the extra flex spots, decided to jam 4 Counterspell on the list, see how it goes. Some of the other cool inclusions to the deck that you might not have seen previously. We've got Rest in Peace in the sideboard, which obviously has been one of the biggest pieces of grave hate in the history of Modern, honestly. So getting to run it in our Blue Black X shell while Psychic Frog Jump is the only thing it actually impacts is a pretty cool addition. Been very impactful, especially with the rise of the Grixis Reanimator decks. We've got up to 2 Harbinger of the Seas from 1, Mystical Dispute, the Consigns, 2 Thoughtseize and a Dreams of Steel and Oil in the sideboard, no hand disruption in the main. So really relying on those free counters early, relying on the paid counters later, and then the Tamiyo, Psychic Frog, Kaito, Quantum Riddler package to make sure we can just keep the gas flowing throughout the entire game. And then the 3 pest controls that I know I've memed about rarely ever seeing on the channel, but I promise you, you're going to see a lot more of them this league than you previously have. So be the judge yourself on how good you think they are. Other than that, if you're enjoying the content, enjoying the commentary, feel free to leave a like on the video. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. Greatly helps out the growth and show us that this is the kind of content you're enjoying. Otherwise, buckle up. Let's go ahead and hop into that league. Well, Ovenize up here with double the trophy number of number 2. A lot of trophies. Nice. Turn 1 Tamiyo, turn 2 Bowmaster or Subtlety, or Bowmaster or Counterspell. Free spells are OP, especially if you can play free spells with the ability to like recoup the loss. So anything that has ever played Stitcher Supplier in Modern, I don't want to see. I absolutely hate everything this card stands for. Like unfair grave shenanigans deck. Never want to play against the Stitcher Supplier deck. Help if I updated Moxfield, wouldn't it? Xeriox Moxfield off my page. More unfair than Hogak. You know, there are people out there that are still like convinced Hogak would be fine now. Like, oh, Hogak was problematic in 2019 or 2018, whenever. It's fine now. What is it even doing? Yeah, it looks like CrabVine. Probably just counterspelling this. Crabs go crazy in CrabVine, hence the name. Agatha's Soul Cauldron, Ulamog the Defiler. Pablo, you got to put exclamation deck or exclamation deck list. Those are the only ones I have set up. Okay, so Agatha's Soul Cauldron slash Ulamog the Defiler is kind of terrifying. That one. Not against some amount of unfair shenanigans. Shenaniganry. So what is having Ulamog the Defiler in the deck? Does this just like mean that they're on Gorios, or there's some other reason to have this that I don't know about? Like, this doesn't combo with Soul Cauldron in any way. I pray to God they're not hard casting this against me, but that, my friends, is an abhorrent Oculus being hard cast. I have no idea what's going on. Literal none. OP's on another level. Same. Like, I am beyond lost as to what the big payoff is here. I don't know if this is just like Dimir cards I own. I guess like an Emperor Ulamog. That makes sense. That's probably the answer we're looking for. They do put Emperor on top of their library. Bruh! What the fuck? was not prepared. Turn to be blue-black cards I own, right? So 1, 2, and I don't want to keep my land around. I think I might just ditch my 3 clues, or my 2 clues in a land. Doesn't have trample, right? Please don't consign this. Okay. God. Now, I know that they put the Emperor of Bones on top. But the Emperor of Bones looks a lot less scary without an Ulamog in the yard. So I think I'm just ticking up Tamiyo instead of minusing for the counter spell. But I can also just Quantum Riddler first to see if I hit anything crazy. I would much rather tick up Tamiyo. And see, like, this is where Quantum Riddler looks so much better to me than most everything else. Like, 2 mana, draw 2, instead of Star Charts being 4 mana, draw 2. Then if the game were to continue, we could just like hard cast a Quantum Riddler. Right, I will let you exile the frog, and I want to wait for you to pay mana into this Emperor of Bones. Then I'll respond with shoot the sheriff. Kill it. They can't attack with the suppliers. Untap, ult Tamiyo, blah, 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 blah. Rest in peace. Thoughtseize and Dreams of Steel and Oil. I think I want pest control for Stitcher Supplier. Still a crab, though. Kaito's probably not getting through very easily. Couple forces. If you have like 6 or 7 mana and 1 card in a Riddler, would you warp it or would you just cast it? Probably just cast it at that point. Assuming it's like 1 card in hand, draw Riddler for turn. I'm probably just casting it because if I draw a land, play that out, and then hit anything interactive that I'm just at draw 2 with the Riddler the next turn and have a 4/6 in play. Bad. There's the second coming of Frog we've been waiting for. I think it's a step down from Frog, but it's still really, really good. I think Frog just does like everything you could possibly want in one magic card. Like, oh, you want a card that draws cards, gets bigger as the game goes on, has evasion, aggressively costed, can blank a decent amount of removal. Enables a lot of lines, like enables a lot of strategies. Discard. Spell Pierce. Who asked if Spell Pierce was pushed out of Modern earlier? Clearly not. Frog, 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 frog. Riddler, 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 Riddler. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not a force, not a force. You got nothing. Got something. Well, I guess by all technicalities, we're not dead here. I assume they've got some pretty sick lines of... Oh, really? Do you not just, like, draw a bunch there and set up, like, your discards? I don't even know if you have to draw 14, but just, like, draw 7, filter just into the perfect hand. Set up your graveyard, set up your hand. Depends on the first 7. But, like, there's no way that your first 7 could be so incredibly perfect that seeing 7 more cards almost for free isn't worth it, right? I'm just thinking, like, that 7... That 7 would have to be, like, Spell Pierce. I don't know if they run Thoughtseize or not. Like, Spell Pierce, Goryo's, second Goryo's, Unearth in this case, another land. And even then, you're like putting a lot of eggs in the Goryo's basket, right? Like if I have a way to exile the yard, then that Goryo's isn't doing a whole lot. Ah. Next level magicking us. That's quite possible. I wonder if they have force of negation. Really, they're not running like both spell snare and force of negation, right? Or spell pierce and force negation. Cauldron, Cauldron, Frog, Grist, Ulamog. So they missed the second land, but they had the spell pierce. Yeah. Rest in peace. They do be piercing things. They clearly do not be piercing things. Or else they would have pierced that. Appland kind of sucks here. Slam 2 drops and win. Frog rip. What a deck. If I could make a deck that was just like my entire game plan is Thoughtseize into 2-drop that just auto wind. Auto 1. Build. Opt to get a frog down. I could hold up Stern Scolding here, but I don't have any like guarantee that I'm gonna hit something. Boros. Card has been kept on top. Not Boros. Yeah, see, this would have been a god-awful turn to hold up Spell or Stern Scolding. I would have gotten clapped. Probably don't want that, right? Double frog, I'm probably not picking up. Come on, third land pass. Third land pass, third land pass, third land pass. I didn't really mean that land. Kind of hoping more for like mountain. And that didn't buff this construct token. Gonna jump frog number A. See if opponent wants to block frog number B. Discard to save frog. They could have something like the protection spell. White. Something, or make yourself hexproof indestructible. Valve Blast. This just like red, white, Corey Steel gimmick, just red, white artifacts. What do I think about the Grixis Reanimator deck that's been running around? We tried it on stream on Monday, and it was absolutely awful for me. And then I ran into it in the challenge on Tuesday twice, 1-1. And then the second one was just like mono reanimate spells. So just every time I killed something, they had an unearth or had a persist. And it looked pretty good. So I don't really have a great answer one way or the other. It's fatal pushing this now. It's like thing on board. All the namesake and it's good, I guess. It's usually how those work. Or like if your opponent just I do think Grave Hate is at a very, very, very low point right now. So I'm not surprised that there's like a graveyard centric deck doing well. But ultimately, like if people decide that's not something they want to lose to, I think it's a lot easier to navigate around that. Like anybody can just go throw Soul Guide Lanterns into their deck and be pretty good against the Reanimate deck. Someone who plays a decent amount of Living End, I can tell you that it's not a bad time to be a graveyard deck. I agree. It's pretty solid right now. In M. Johnson, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Hope you're having an awesome afternoon. Welcome to the Stubscribers. Enjoy access to all of our sweet custom emotes. So you draw enough copies of Psychic Frog and the game gets a lot easier. I'm gonna put Thoughtseize down here in the maybe pile. I don't feel like I saw enough to really know like what I should be targeting here. Like, I don't know if Stern Scolding is completely dead. I don't know if Subtlety is just kind of mid to bad. Masters doesn't seem thrilling. On the draw. Jens, I will drop the link for you real quick. For whatever reason, the deck command doesn't work on YouTube, but here is the link for you. Death Dragon coming in with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much. Welcome to the subscribers. We're having an awesome afternoon. Draw pest control. Yeah, draw pest control counter 1. Add like an exclamation pest control counter. Esper Sentinel. Tomato. Yeah, no problem. Oasis Saga. We're just going to take this in case it's attack Galv Blast. Not super attached to that 1 point of life. Outclassed Esper Sentinel looks today amazing. Attacking. I feel like I'm not attacking here. Yes, I could. Taking 1 again. Kind of want to just find lands. Lands equal good, no lands equal. There's probably a pretty free block here because I can't imagine them Galv blasting Tameo instead of a construct token. Good. Are we going for a Dreams? Opponent has got a reprieve. Reprieve could be annoying. Plus another saga. Definitely not going to be able to slow roll this pest control very well. At all. Not hitting the land. Also really, really bad for me. I think I have to just crack the clue here. Because anything I cast, they just reprieve and I don't get any closer. But if I crack the clue and find like a fatal push or another land to be able to pest control, they reprieve it, pest control again, gives me like a shot. At least at the moment, this is only 11 if they make a construct main phase. Going for a force on that. Come on, use your reprieve. You know you want to. Or just main phase, make a construct. I don't want to cast the pest control and show them that that's in my sideboard. So even if there's like a chance that they don't reprieve, which I don't know why they wouldn't, I think it's worth more to go to a game 3 where I have a better chance of that plan working. Bowmaster looks a lot better now that I know they have Esper Sentinel. Drop all the Tamios. Okay. Pretty good hand on the play. Pretty good hand on the play. Opponent's on a mulligan. I go ahead and control this, or Stern's holding this. Frog. Artisade. Okay. Well, they know about this first pest control, so I'm pretty inclined to just cast it and take out the Sigarda's aid. Like, take the 1-for-1 trade with that, save the second one. Going to. Like, if I don't, they just don't commit into the first one, which I guess if then they don't commit, it makes Fatal Push and Strategic Betrayal a lot better. But okay with this. Attack straight up. If they want to make a construct and block, I'll take the free get a blocker off the board, or get a creature off the board. Good. Forces, not so much. Get an opal. Go. Attempt to Fatal Push. Force this. Oh, we can attack in like normal again. Music is in fact banging. Hit with the frog, see what we draw. Try to see if I can get him to commit into this second pest control. Doesn't sound like Xanarkand. It's just Xanarkand on like Route 201 or something, and enter. I think this is like the bicycling path theme. Bit of an awkward spot for a thought seed. Not having the double black. Okay, so option number one, I can go for strategic betrayal. That way, if I attack in with Kaito, they can't make a construct that eats my Kaito. I think I'll lead with preordain regardless, because like I'm not double spelling. Altsies. Like I don't have to do anything crazy this turn. Really, I just have to survive next turn. If I do that, then okay-ish. Float mana, crack the bauble. Not about to just go ahead and make a construct, are they? I assume if they had a Surge of Salvation, they'd be casting it here. Because doesn't that give player protection as well? Brief Thought Seize. We'll go up on Kaito. Make it a 4/5. I guess I could have just attacked in anyway. I didn't have to tick up Kaito. Maybe it makes them overcommit towards killing Kaito. Or if they make a construct and chump here, I am ecstatic. Pick a dude. We're all in on throwing this frog under the bus. We race a paladin hammer plus spear after a pest. It depends on what they play out or hold back. Like if they get a shadow spear here, I'm pretty happy about that. Obviously, if they equip it up, I'm even more happy. If they go after Kaito, I'm happier still. So like this is all God tier for me right here. And now I think I just go pest control, hold up counter spell. Unless I hit an untapped land. Guess we can, because I can always play the sync. Hammer, hammer, Quarry Steel, Soul Guide. That's fine. Seeing the board disappear after Pest Controller Wrath the Skies is the best feeling. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? Hammer down. All right, so Mox Opal was their unknown, so the last card's another hammer. Entering combat. I feel okay. Even strategic betrayal, a sanctifier on Vec. We're gonna get Veil of Summered. How do we lose Veil of Summer? How we lose. Full Galv Blast. Ooh. Red White Hammer. Turn clock engage. I mean, it's better than a 20 turn clock, right? We could have sped it up if we wanted. Wonder what the green was for. Guru GG's. Yeah, as soon as you saw the first pest control off the bobble, I was like, all right, I'm firing this off ASAP and hoping he doesn't just play around the second one that I already had in hand. But I don't think you could do anything to play around it. You kind of like had to commit to some sagas. What's the green for? Don't mind me asking. Haywire Might. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, like I was not expecting reprieve game 2 and ended up getting stuck with 3 lands with just like 5 2-drops in hand and could not beat that reprieve. Like I had a pest control, decided not to cast it to save it for game 3, just to like not show it. And that reprieve was looking so good. Like I couldn't frog into it, I couldn't pest control into it. I wanted to hold up a counter spell for a turn, couldn't do that. Where were you? Reeve's a house of a card. I'm always shocked that more people don't play that card in your non-blue deck. Really good out to Wrath and Pest Control. Is it even that weird? Like, it's just solid to cast, right? You have the Natty. Right. What am I most afraid of here? Yeah, I'm sure with like saga constructs and stuff, that one turn is all you need a lot of the time. Just like a time walk there. Time walk, draw a card. I think I hold up counterspell this turn instead of going for another frog. Hope that the payoff is like a sire and not an Ugin. Blue mages don't play Remand. I assume Reprieve is in the same boat. Well, the blue mages have counterspell. Like we just have the actual factual hard answer. But for like the non-counterspell having decks, Reprieve is a really good way to stop combo for a turn. I know they showed Devour, but there's like no guarantee that's what they're doing, right? The only way you win game 1 against Tron is if you're able to start pushing them into like non cast trigger Eldrazi or non cast trigger payoffs. Like hope I can counterspell Thought Not Seer here, and then they follow up with like a Kozilek's command right here. I draw into a Thought Seize, flip Tameo, something like that. Or play a Karn. Step 1. 2 is we find like another counter spell, Thought Seize, flip Tameo. I mean, you have to, right? You have to take the Riddler here. I could ditch the polluted delta looking for a force of negation or a subtlety. I guess I don't have thought seizes in the main for that. Tomato. First time wishing that was a merc. Am I wishing that was a merc? It's like Quantum Riddler gives me a chance of drawing out of that if I find an answer. Murktide just doesn't. Murktide is just at the mercy of whatever they put on the battlefield. Come on, Kozilek's command for all of your mana. Kozilek's command for all of it. You can do it. Why do you get to have tutorable cast trigger destroy something cards? You already get 8 of them in the main if you want, with 4 copies of Ugin and 4 copies of Devourer. Why do you also get ones that you can tutor up out of the board? Too much. No moss. Sure. Subtlety. Okay, not great. Bowman, okay, not great. Tameo? I don't think I'm ever cutting Tameo on the play. Like, Tameo on the play is just how I get to, like, quit Kaito or flip it, buy back, consign. Does too much. Though I will say, I think I want to preordain here instead of Tameo, so I can give myself a chance of drawing into Force of Negation. Two. Arn, waste all his dust. Who's second land from opponent? Hold up. I think it's high time we get a torpor orb for cast triggers. We should have had a torpor orb for cast triggers a while ago. All right, Quantum Riddler. I need you to show me something, buddy. I need you to show me something. Pretty okay, right? Pretty okay, Quantum Riddler. We're like, we're acceptable with how that played out. We think Quantum Riddler's acceptable, right? Yeah, yeah. Please. Somebody back me up on this. Somebody. Could have been a Murktide. Instead, opponent's dead. Flip it, throw it on YouTube. Could make a short out of that. Drawing cards is bad though, right? Didn't look that bad to me. My leagues lately, this Eldrazi Tron deck has been the run killer. We beat it last league. It can definitely be annoying if you're not prepared. And I feel like a good chunk of the Dimir decks have been cutting down on Harbinger. I'm still like multiple Harbinger in the sideboard. Okay. I'm gonna keep it. I know there's a good chance we lose this game, but for science, we're keeping it. Like, what do you want more out of a hand? I've got win conditions. I got ways to draw more cards. I've got free interaction. I clearly knew my second land was coming off the top. Ready for this? Do you smell what the rock is cooking here? Are your senses engaged with what's happening? Kids these days don't know about the good one. Dude, get out of here. We're just naturally hitting the missing Tron lands? Magic in 2025 is such a miserable experience. Like, we got to have such a cool series of plays there. We double forced just Tron things. Channeling my inner Yama rage. I don't know. Like, to me, Tron and Blue White Control are these two decks that, like, if you don't just draw god tier perfects. The deck is kind of terrible. Just my 2 cents. Like, did they have... They didn't have the map on 1. Hell's Phyrexian Metamorph in your deck for? They didn't have the map on 1. Or did we force a map? Yeah, we forced a Vexing Bauble and... Could you have cut Subtlety there for 2 cards? Like, what? Subtleties for pest controls? No, you can't Subtlety Kozilek's command. If you can double pitch, oh no, you can't. White control and I'm offended. If you're a blue-white control player, you should know that what I say is the truth. Like, blue-white control has to run hot to win. And it's the same thing with Tron. Like, so many of the cards are very, very mid, unless you're just running really, really well. Like, if you draw triple Kozilek's command, hit the missing Tron land, then yeah, the deck looks quite a bit better. If they don't blind draw the 4 outer in the 50 cards or so remaining in their deck, and it couldn't be a map because we had spells covered, it had to naturally be drawing the land, then they're still like not doing anything that game. Did you story time? Did you redeem? And did? Not showing up on mine. Okay. I don't know why it's not showing up that you redeemed there. Give me a brief. Let me click through combat. Could be swag reveal. I don't think I really have anything exciting swag wise at the moment. Well, I was busy thinking about the reveal. Put Pinnacle Emissary on top. All right. So story. Did we tell this? I know I've told it in the Discord, the story of the salty amulet player from Indianapolis. We told that story on stream. So the SCG con in Indianapolis played through round or day one, ended up like 7-2 or something day one. Either way, qualified for day two. Day two starts off, and the very first round I play against Amulet Titan, and like day two is open deck list. Play against Amulet Titan, and the entire time, or the first round against Amulet Titan was fine. My opponent was like a little salty, but not over the top or anything. I played against another Amulet Titan player immediately after, and I'm on Oculus, they're on Amulet, it's open deck list. As soon as I sit down, they kind of give like a sigh, just like I get it, it's a bad matchup. You don't want to come out to Indianapolis and run into a bad matchup. I understand the frustration. But like, I'm not gonna try to be a dick about it to my opponent or anything like that. And we start playing game one, and I think they were on the play. Yeah, they were on the play. I'm on the draw. Turn three, they have a plan to like, what was it? It was like play out a Lotus Field, float 3 mana off an Amulet, sack 2 lands, Arboreal Grazer, put in a second Lotus Field, sack off all of their mana to make 6 to cast a Titan. And as soon as they do, they say something like, you got it. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, and cast the counter spell on the Titan. And they just start going like, they always fucking have it. Every fucking time the Dimir players fucking got it. And I'm just like, I mean, I guess, sure. So we're going to sideboarding. Am I Quantum Riddlering here? I think I am. I like Quantum Riddler a little bit more here because if I hit a land, I can just hard cast it next turn. I have Metallic Rebuke. Sure. Wild Man coming in with the raid. Thank you so much. We're in the middle of talking about my salty Amulet Titan opponent. Hope you had an awesome stream. Welcome, everybody. So, playing against the Amulet Titan player, got the counter spell. They have to sack all their lands off, get the Titan counter, blah, blah, blah. And they're just going off like they always fucking have it every time. And I'm just like, man, I don't know what to tell you here. Sorry that you feel that way, but kind of not my problem. Go to game two, and it's like I force a negation, an amulet, counter spell, spelunking, drop a harbinger on 3, and my opponent just goes off like, your deck's fucking trash. This entire format's fucking trash. Nobody fucking plays Frog. It's such a fucking shit deck. Why would you drive out here and play this shit? And I'm just like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Here's the result. You can confirm it if you want. And I just like leave the table, go off. I think somebody stopped me right after the match and was just like, I don't know what your opponent's problem was. They were just absolutely unhinged. I was like, they were upset. Can't do much about it, whatever. But either way, the best part about it is after all this is done and my opponent's like salted off to me, and this other like random person from the Discord has said something, I start getting text messages from people that are like, yeah, there's someone salting off in the Amulet Titan Discord. Because like I had shared the story on my Discord, and somebody was like, oh, there's somebody salting off in the Amulet Titan Discord. It was my opponent from that last round, just like blowing up about our match. All I could think was like, man, first off, it's a game of Magic. It's not that serious that you got to be like emotionally distraught over this. Just wild to listen to it all go down. Yeah, there's my salty Amulet Titan player story. The Wendy's. That's cool and all, but and I really, 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 really need this Tameo to go the distance. Like to the point that I might just sink into stupor this Thought Monitor into turn, even though it gives them an extra draw to. It makes sure that I can Tameo ult. Guess not. I guess the turns that I save by not giving them more draws. I don't know how that really maths out. I think I'm just like 100% sink into supering this Thought Monitor. Metallic Rebuke. Okay. I'm not gonna pay for this. This could just end up tapping them out completely, depending on what they strap up the boots to. Bottom jeans. I forgot it gave ward. Okay. We'll figure it out. Why not bounce? Because I forgot it had ward. I could also just like fatal push this minus Tameo on shoot the sheriff. I'm gonna do that actually. Hold up, sink into stupor. Okay. Cameo. can even rebuy a shoot to take out a Kappa Cannoneer now. Maybe stop drawing lands. Sweet. I have zero idea what they could be drawing. Faults for fetching on deck thinning over revolt. So I actually don't want to fetch to deck thin because that's less draws that I get off of Tamiyo. So if they have Metallic Rebuke here, I could untap Strategic Betrayal. Okay. I believe this game is over. Got subtleties, we got frogs, counter spells, whatever. Frog, play a turn, it doesn't really matter. Pass. Hit him with the GLHF. The score thing, yeah, the score thing he doesn't show on the Daybreak account. It works. Oh, gonna work. Ah, got there. We're on the draw. Not a big fan of consign on the draw. I think it's a lot better on the play. Counter restarting. Just finally got the pest control counter up past 0 for the first time in the last like 4 leagues, and you're already restarting it on me. Damn it. Have one either. Did anyone have issues logging into MTGO today? Apparently there was some sort of like unscheduled downtime. I don't know what the issue was, but I heard a bunch of people having problems. This hand's dicey. So if they have just like a turn 1 pop off, hand's bad. Can't really do much about that. But if they have not a turn 1 Pinnacle Emissary and wait until turn 2, I can Fatal Push it. Missed the end of the previous league. What was your thought after no Murktide, Riddler, Bowman? There were just a lot of turns I felt like I could not do anything. Like I didn't have card advantage. I didn't have a clock. So I was not a fan of 0 Riddler and 0 Murktide. Hold up. Hold up, brethren. On the deck. You expect 2 copies of Kaito to just actually win you every game. Stupid Cannoneer. Get out of here. On thought. I don't like what Affinity has become these days. It's definitely different. Definitely different. I wonder if my opponent's got the card Metallic Rebuke in hand. So they got Metallic Rebuke in hand. They've got a Pinnacle Emissary in Warp. Have a response. Bingu said new Affinity feels like Neo form now. Take. Not opposed to the take. Emissary number 2. I am going to respond to this with life. Fatal Push, the Pinnacle Emissary. It'll name Cameo. Really like the blue-white Urza build or the 8 cast, but now we're slamming Kappas on turn 1 or turn 2. I don't like it. I mean, seems pretty good. I understand not being the biggest fan of it, but works. Fortunately. All right, so I can never flip this Tameo. Or I guess I could like sink into Stupor and flip it if I wanted. Really thinking they were going to go for a triple block. Guess it's like kind of free on their end. All right, now top deck a thought cast. I will let you resolve a thought cast here. Only like this turn, no others. Let's cast a frog, see what they do. They can't block? Nope. Oh my god, I never knew that. Huh. Okay. Good to know. Let you counter the frog. Yeah, I did not know that was a line of text on there. I thought it was just like 1/1 flyers. That was it. Huh. I wonder if I've misplayed because of that. This list is Esper Riddler with counter spells in for Thoughtseize, basically. Pretty much, yeah. Pest control. Thank you. I'm gonna play it this way so I can like crack a couple clues and then get the pest control. Or are we waiting? Guess we're waiting now. Fine. Good. I don't think I need to fire off pest control. These drone tokens. I remember I can't attack in next turn. That's a really good draw. That protects me from construct token plus lava spur boots. They go that route. Save the preordained for after I pest control. got Opal, Opie Mopal. Knight. Watch opponent rip another Saga. They could. And if that's the case, then I'm going to go ahead and pest control and just try to like preordain to find another one. I love this so much. I love this. You get that Tormod's Crypt. You know what it does? Jack shit. Not a thing. That's what it does. Tide lives rent free. Yeah, I got no yard. It's really unfortunate for you, boy. I think I value this blue token a little bit more. I really want to hit a land drop. And technically a little bit better. Bottom U, top U. See what's up. Taking Springleaf Drum here. Matter, play a land, play pest control. Pest control, go Burt. Who says Affinity's a tough matchup? We never said that. 07 tomato. Pour one out for the tomato homie. Cameo like never did anything but attack and make clues and still gained us like 7 cards that game. We're in the blind on the play. Like JRPG music. The Man with the Machine from Final Fantasy Distant Worlds 2. Or is this Distant Worlds 2? More music from Final Fantasy. But I don't recognize this song. Like a spin-off. Find a Tameo here. This could just be like turn 2 frog, turn 3 Tameo, preordain, frog hit, flip it. Or we can Bowmaster to shoot down this cat token. See if they want to flip the Ajani. Get my tap land into play. Prepare for this incoming Flage. Flage Titan of something's something. Voice of Victory, Static Prison. Fury. Is that the Flage full name? Titan of Fury. Titan of Storm's Fury, something like that. I do like Stern Scolding as a magic card. I don't think I want it right here, though. I think I would rather find like a subtlety counterspell. Let's see. It's a Flage's name. Flage Titan of Fire's Fury. Like Uro Titan of Storm's Wrath, Flage Titan of Fire's Fury, and Kroxa Titan of like Death's Hunger. Is it crazy to say that I think like the Ajani interactions are probably the most annoying part of this deck to me? Like between Ajani, Goblin Bombardment, or just multiple Ajanis. Go discard the Polluted Delta. Back into the Ajani. Was there a better line? Could I have attacked in, flown the frog, attacked into the Ajani, ninjutsu the Kaito? No. Well, yeah, I could have played the land second main phase, played the frog. I don't know if that would have been better. Would have been down a draw, I guess. Probably fine. I'm gonna zero Kaito instead of ticking up, so I can try to find a land for this push. Oh, but I didn't deal damage to them. Damn it. All right. It's fine. It's fine. Very weak defending walkers. Well, I mean, Tamio's like making it really awkward to attack in. They're not making much headway. Ranger Captain of Eos. Cards do have text. Okay, so what am I doing here? I know they have an Ocelot Pride in hand. They kind of need like a Flage pretty badly. Stop this Tamio ult. I could Kaito stun the Ranger Captain and just pass. Or Kaito tick up. I would have to gang block. Back in with Frog. I feel like the answer is almost always just attack in with Frog. When in doubt, attack in with a Psychic Frog. Stun you. Already ticked up Tamio. They go. Now if they go for like... You got to decide if they want to sack off this Ranger Captain. They don't care about just Ocelot Pride. And if they do sack off the Ranger Captain, what am I like that afraid of here? Let's just sack into Guide Pride. Okay, so they can pump up a cat token. No, because they don't get the extra counter until end of turn, so they can't pump up a cat token. So they're just dead. I've got Tamio ult, draw, yes, amount of cards. Would like to fly my Psychic Frog. No blocks, you say. That's a questionable approach. One. I'm just gonna hold up Counterspell because like the only thing that could get me here is Evoked Solitude. As long as I have Counterspell up, that's covered. That 14, 15, 16. 2025 Splinter Twin. Good. We have Splinter Twin at home. Do you think you ever board in Rest in Peace against Boros? I feel like it's not high up on my list that I actively want in, but I could absolutely see a world where you say, like, I've got most of the small derpy stuff covered, and the only thing I care about answering with that spot is Flage, and maybe board out like a Kaito for a rip. We'll give it a shot. What are we here for if we're not trying stuff out? I'm not like thrilled about it, but I'm also not thrilled about Kaito post board. I really thought that was the Rest in Peace, and I was going to be like really, really sad that this hand just didn't do anything but had the Rest in Peace. Not doing anything with the pest control looks a lot better. Pest control drawn all matches. Magic is easy. Just draw the card that you put like 17 copies in from your sideboard every single game. We're about to get just curb stomped by this Ajani. Kevin, what's up? Please no Ajani. Please no Ajani. Please no Ajani. Agioli. This line makes like 0 sense to me, because if you play out a Ragavan without dashing it here, there is no world that I'm ever countering it. So like if you're slow rolling the Ajani for fear of me having a spell snare or something, I just find it really hard to believe the correct play is to roll out a Ragavan first. Maybe I'm wrong, but doesn't really seem like the game plan. Or like it doesn't feel like you need to be slow rolling around a Ragavan. Do it, you coward. Think I care about these cards? They mean nothing to me. Dead in my eyes. So if I force this, they just sack a couple dudes and ping off the frog anyway. But like forcing that doesn't do anything, right? Because they can just sack off like rag cat and kill the frog. Put me down to 6. Yeah, pest control does kill the prison. I could have had some better fetching earlier and saved a little bit of life. But hopefully we can like subtlety or force something here. Untap, Quantum Riddler, draw enough cards for Frog to be able to take out the Ajani. And that might kind of reset us a little bit. Guess not if they're just going straight for the sack. So if I discard 3, this is 1, 2, 3. Frog would. No, because I would have to discard the 3rd card, and in response, they could just kill my frog. Ragavan too. All right. Dude. why are we doing all of this cat nonsense? Just static prison the frog and move on. Like, it ends up being basically the exact same scenario, whether they want to static prison before the force or after. But you just like used up a Thraben charm for nothing. A Johnny minus for nothing. Party. I don't love the rest in peace, but I don't think I would play anything else in that spot. I go up on force and negations now that they've shown me like multiple static prisons. Drop a Tameo. Multiple static prisons, Thraben charms. Pablo, I need the voice of reason. On the play, got free spells and redraws. All right, well, when I get an unkeepable 6, we know who to blame. Like, I could have had the same hand, but 7 cards instead of 6. Normally, I would have kept that 7. Because that 7 to me was, I've got a Surveil land on the play, so I don't have to take, like, turn 1 off. I've got multiple 2-mana cantrips. I've got 3 free spells. Like, my hand kind of had everything I wanted. Except lands. I had multiple looks. Not even chat, it's like Pablo specifically, because he's giving me so much shit for keeping 1-landers. Being Pablo, indeed. Not wanting me to have success. Afraid of what I'll become. I'm gonna hold up discarding 2 to the frog to save it from a discharge. Or a flage ETB. Please be a flage. Please be a flage. Sure, that's fine. A flage, but you know. Nowadays. Fatal Push Guide. Riddleroni. Discard. Discard. Yeah. 2. It looked a lot better if I had played that land the turn before. Okay. No flage. Sweet. Over a Tameo. Kind of annoying, not the end of the world. I would be thrilled if this is just like hard cast Flage to put it in the yard to escape it next turn. Or you have Celestial Purge. Got Celestial Purge. And chooses not to play the Tameo. I probably should have just kept that force on top because it was like a bad Ragavan hit. Ragavan Showdown. Voice of Victory. Blood Moon. A Johnny. Need to draw like a subtlety here. Philip, what's up? I guess if I get to Blood or Force of Blood Moon, that would be pretty hot. I would assume if they're going to go for Blood Moon, they'd go for Voice first. What are we doing? Going for the Blood Moon first. Take this opportunity to. I don't know why they wouldn't just go for the Voice of Victory first. I guess they just weren't playing around Blood Moon or playing around Force Negation. Okay. Draw 2 off of this Quantum Riddler. So we fail Fatal Push, the Voice of Victory. Hold up the Subtlety. Pass. Not attacking. They attack with Ragavan. I am flashing in this Subtlety. Trade. They attack with both, and this just looks like Thraben Charm. I gotta think. Do they have a follow-up to this? Like, do I think their last card in hand is a Galvanic Discharge or a Thraben Charm? Because if I just let this go and then like flash in Subtlety end of turn, get to untap, draw 2, Dreams to exile the Flage. That's really, really good for me. But I guess I don't need to. Like, I'm not in a bad spot if they just put this back on top, but I get to draw 2 more. But like the considering attacks with the reflection is kind of what makes me wonder if they have something else besides just the one spell or just the one Flage. They put the Flage on the bottom. Lay out the frogs. I'm fine throwing the frog under the bus. If I can like block with the frog, discard Dreams. Right, so just tack you for 7 in the air, Bowmaster's face. I'll preordain just in case there's a counter spell on top and it gives me something to protect the Bowmaster. Dude. Sphinx. Sphinx. Molta Sphinx. Riddler is so great. Oh man. Okay. This is the list we ran. So Tameo, great. Tameo with Riddler, great. I think the 3 Riddler was fine. Especially when you could like pair it with a frog or something. But I didn't feel like I missed the 4th Riddler much. Counter spells were pretty good. I thought they were solid. There were a couple matches where it was kind of awkward to have like counterspell on the draw. But I think overall I was happy to have counterspell. I guess the downside to it would be that those counterspells could be like 4th Preordain, 3rd Bowmasters, a couple Thought Seizes, or like 3 Thought Seize, Spell Snare or something. Just if you want to play more proactive or reactive. I'd give Counterspell like a, I don't know, like a 6.5 out of 10 rating. Like, it was reasonably good. Better than average. Pest control still lights out. Rest, dude, playing these rest in pieces out of the board has been really nice. Getting to just like shut down random grave decks like that CrabVine opponent, just saying like, here's a rest in peace. Good luck. That's been super dope. Correct number of counterspells is between 0 and 4. I mean, if we're not including 0 or 4, then that's probably fine. Like 2 or 3's, realistically 2 or 3 is probably reasonable. I just hate the idea of playing like less than 4 counterspell if you think you want access to counterspell. Like, I hate the idea of saying I don't like counterspell to the point of wanting to cut down on them, but still including some number in the 75 instead of just like more stern scoldings or spell snares or something. You know what I mean? Like, if you think counterspell is not good enough to run the full 4, I feel like you should just be on none. It's kind of like when you saw all those Grixis lists that were on like 2 Ragavan. Like, if you don't think Ragavan is good, or if you don't think Ragavan's good enough to run 4, just don't run Ragavan. Just like, just keep them away. It's fine. But as soon as you start getting into like this, I play 2 and it's always in my opening hand when I don't want to see it, and then I never draw it when I do want to see it. Like, nah, you take the good with the bad. I run 8 and just don't tell my opponents. Fair. I did think for a little bit about like, what would the deck look like if you ran the, say, the 4 counter spell in the board and just said, all right, I'm up against a creature heavy matchup, board out the 4/4s for 4 counter spell. I'm up against non-creature stuff, board out the subtlety for 4 counter spell. I think that's too cute, but at least a brain exercise, right?